Hey there. So my next guest has actually been following me for a few months now, and it turns out he's been building a business like while he's been watching me, and he like reached out to me and we had this conversation. I decided to invite him on, and he's really cool because like he's just finishing college, getting a business degree, and he started a business that's already open. He's 22, and this is the coolest thing. Like, I can't wait for you guys to meet him. Hey there, everybody. Welcome back to the Gamerpreneur podcast. I'm your host, Dr. Bradford Carlton. Today, I have a very special guest with us. I have Greg Quiñones with the GameQ Lounge. How's it going, Greg?
Doing good, boss.
Oh, thank you. Thank you. So where are you at?
Right here, we're in Stroudsburg, Pennsylvania, right on the main street.
Okay. Hopefully you're not affected by the protests too much at the moment.
Yeah, the protest's pretty good. I seen a couple of them come by, and you know, they all say hi and stuff like that. Pretty peaceful over here.
Wonderful, because I see all those windows. Just
Yeah, you actually see the front window. I'm gonna try to spin it around real quick. There's my front windows, right to the
Very
main
nice. That's a beautiful location you got there. So, Greg, why don't you begin by just telling us a little bit about yourself?
So I am a business administration major. Just graduated. I'm a gamer by heart for years now, and my whole family games. So we're kind of like a family of gamers, and since we always have events and stuff up here, I always want to build a place that we can all hang out. So that's me, just the gamer guy and all stuff. And I also stream on YouTube and Twitch.
So you built a whole location just so you could play video games with your family?
Of course. Basically. No, but it's also help out other people to come by and stuff like that and play with their families and all that.
Absolutely. All right. So I begin every interview with a single question. I'm going to ask you, like I asked everybody else, although I know I've asked a couple other things, but ignore that. So on a scale of 1 to 10, Greg, 10 being high, how weird are you?
I would say 11.
Why is that?
Only because I like to do other things that like people don't really think about. Like I'm a really innovative person when it comes to like looking up like SpaceX and all that stuff and things like that. So every time I go into a conversation, I'm like, man, why don't there just a black hole just appeared in this place? Like weird scientific questions, or if we really go to space travel, like what is the business going to be like, or the internet going to be on Mars? Like weird questions like that. So I'm like that kind of guy.
Very cool. All right, so this is the Gamerpreneur, and I kind of get the feeling you're a gamer based on where you are and what you've told me. But I need your gaming cred. When did you first start playing video games?
I gotta give my credits to my cousin CJ and my cousin Dan. They got me into gaming back in the Dreamcast. Sonic Adventure was pretty much like my first actual game I really played a lot. And my first console that I quote unquote owned in my own household was a PlayStation 1 with Crash Bandicoot and Spyro. So way back then.
All right. What do you play now?
Now I play usually everything really. PC, console, VR, you name it, I got it. And I really like to play Halo, Destiny, and a little bit of Minecraft.
All right. I mean, it has to be pretty awesome that all your video game buying is all now tax deductible as a business expense, right?
Yeah, very much. Yeah. Good way to look at it.
Right? Oh, we need VR for the studio.
Oh, man, we need to get those games there. And that brand new game came out. I got to buy it.
All right. So, Greg, all-time favorite video game?
Man, that's a hard question. All-time favorite video game, I'll either say, I got to say Halo. I have the most, like, friends from Halo, and all the, like, memories come from Halo. My second best, because it always pops up on other interviews, maybe Smash. My second, only because of, again, hanging out with friends and events. Any game I've really together, but Halo and Smash are my two favorite games. I can never decide which one's the most favorite.
All right, I'm going to ask you which Smash.
I would say Smash Brawl, because that was the one I played the most.
Okay. All right. See, I've played them all, and I remember when like they were just blocks.
Yeah, when Halo was out, it was just like, or the first one, there's just like Mario Sandwich is a polygon.
That's right. Okay, so tell us about GameQ Lounge.
GameQ Lounge is a place right here in Stroudsburg, like I said. But we basically have we play consoles, we do events, we play Smash. We also do virtual reality. Basically, it's a place that any gamer could come. As we always say, we have internet issues, or at home you want to just play a game and you don't like have the funds to just buy a whole giant PC and stuff. It gets expensive. But here you can pay for $15 an hour, or VR $20 an hour. You can just come by, play some games, hang out. We got PCs, of course. We got a good library, and we're really community driven. So we really like to have like our people kind of tell us what games they like. If we want to do a tournaments, we go always down to be like, oh, you want to do a Halo tournament? Let's do it. And if you get like 10 people, we just do it.
Very cool. So now you said you kind of built this in order to have a place to play with your family, but like, how did you even start this? Like, where did this idea come from?
Yeah, this whole started with like back in high school and stuff. We always did like events, and we always did at the lunch table and used to play like you used to just come out and be like, oh, let's play Get the Sticks and play some games. Of course, like I said, that's why I love Smash, because that's where it really started for us and Brawl. And we always realized like every time as we get older, it gets harder and harder to be like find a place, because if you're trying to get like 5 or 10 people to get together to go play some games, it's like there's not really a place for that, especially if you go to college campuses and stuff. So we were like, it'd be cool if there was a place that we could go to and just have it just for video game people to go and hang out and just play. So, of course, as a business guy, I was just like, you know what? It'd be great if you could just make this gaming lounge, and lo and behold, finally here.
Awesome. All right. How did you find the money to do this? Because, I mean, generally speaking, someone your age doesn't have money.
Yeah, I'm only 22, so it's and in college, so I just finished college. So basically how we got the money, my dad actually helped me invest into it. So that was cool. He invested quite a big chunk of money. Not gonna put that on paper, but he kind of invested into me, so I trusted me with all his money to build this entire place, and he was with me every step of the way, every paintbrush and everything. So that was cool.
Very cool. All right, so like my goal with this show, and you told me you've seen quite a few episodes, is to give advice to gamers. So maybe they want to start their own business, they have no idea where to start. Where do you start to do something like this?
Best start or best advice I could give would be do research, find out like the best area and like where you want to be. Like for me, for example, I did a lot of research on where I want to build my place. And of course, in Pennsylvania, if you didn't know the area, basically Main Street, of course, is a really popping place. But if you really want a good amount of people, there's other places you could build, like the outlets and stuff like that. We have like down the block, which is a bunch of stores or mall, basically. And why would I wouldn't go there is because you have college kids right here. So having a good place and a good location is always good. And if you do more research into what games and stuff, because as gamers, we know that not every game is equal to each other. Like we have some games that were like on a tier list, but like this is the best game ever. But to some other people, it's not. So you always got to do your tier list, reach out to your community, do research, and to figure out like who's in my community, what do they play, and things like that. That would be the best way that I would say would open a business before you even start going for loans and all those things. Because until you figure out exactly your plan, it gets a little rocky on the way out.
Absolutely. Now, do you have any sponsorships? Because I mean, all that equipment back there is pretty expensive.
Honestly,
right?
We're pretty new. We actually opened in March, and of course the COVID happened. But
well, congratulations, and I'm sorry at the same time.
No, it's good. It's good. It's good. We got some good people. We got some regulars coming back real quick. We're getting pretty up there right now. We're only in the yellow phase. We're kind of slow, but we're getting there. But sponsorships wise, I actually was thinking about actually watching your videos. This gave me kind of the ideas. But other streamers and stuff, I want to actually help, because when I first started, people more know me as a streamer and stuff like that. I'm not very big up there or anything, but a lot of people in the area know me for that. And I was thinking if we do sponsorships and like teams and events, that'd be really fun to actually have like other ad revenue going on to do sponsorships.
Okay. Now, like what makes you different? Because I've talked to a lot of different people, and a lot of them just have this idea to start something and they never get started. But you did it. Not only did you like get started, you've already built it. Like, what makes you special?
I would say the drive, just to like really the dream to be like, I want to make my dream happen. And I'm in a great position where I got to do it at 22 my prime. So, but really with me, I was like, instead of everything you see here, the mounts, the TVs, the paint job and everything, it's just hands right here. Me and my dad, and sometimes my friend Jared's in the background doing computer work for me right now, but he helped me do the carpet, which you can't even see on camera, but hey, we did it. But okay. Yeah, so I was the drive.
Wonderful. So you got this drive, you got this ambition, and you said like the first step is to do the research. Now, you said you are a business major, so I'm sure there's lots of people out there not business majors who didn't get that education. What resources do they turn to be able to do this research?
Best way too is if you're lucky enough to have game competitions in the area, or even if you're not in college, I would say stop by colleges. That's usually like the biggest hotspot you're gonna find, like people that also game and do competitions. Um, for Gaming Lounge itself, definitely go to places that you see are hotspots and even talk to your friends. If you have a good group of friends, find their friends and how they play. And that'd be the best way to do it. You don't really need a college degree, I would say, to go do that kind of stuff. You really just need to really go out there and find out what the stuff. The college degree does help though when it comes to like the accounting and all that, the bills and stuff like that, insurance.
Okay. Now, I'm sure you have a marketing plan.
Yep.
Okay. What kinds of things are on your marketing plan?
Most things on my marketing plan is social media is my biggest drive because, of course, we're a little more tech savvy, so that's my biggest one. My other ones are going towards word of mouth and, of course, the old-fashioned handout papers and like festivals and stuff. That's like our biggest marketing part of the plan. Low budget, I know, but yeah. And yeah, pretty much just going out and using our other things like Discord, get word of mouth,
Very
push
cool.
it around.
Okay. How long did it start from like that you get the keys from the landlord to the day that you opened? How long did that take?
Believe it or not, this is the actual real date. I found out while I was at work, and January 1st, 2020. So from that day, I got the key. I got the lease and all that stuff. I got the keys the weekend, and I just kind of built it, painted, getting stuff to come in. VR headsets had to get loaded up. Had a lot of deliveries. Had to set everything up. Internet had to be built in. Pretty much, if you want, I can actually send you photos too. I have the whole thing photographed as we went through. But this place used to be, if you could use your imagination, it used to be, the gray used to be white. Actually, the whole of this used to be really white background with orange. So it was like a creamsicle. But yeah, so that all had to be painted. The floor we had to redo. So yeah, we had a good 2 months of just going at it, just building this place up. And then March, I want to say the right date, March 7th was the first day we opened our doors, and we made we filled up. We actually had made $400 in the first 2 hours in profit.
That's fantastic. Right
Yeah.
on. All
So
right,
we did a
now.
lot of things.
Oh, yeah.
We did a lot of things to get in there.
All right, like say I'm someone who wants to do this too, and I get the keys. Like you said, you had a plan. Like what goes into that plan? Because a lot of people don't understand what a business plan is.
I would say it really goes into, well, yeah, exactly. The business plan really, when you want to get into it, you really want to budget yourself. So you really want to figure out how much money do I have total that I'm willing to spend? Because especially if you get a loan, you don't really want to use the whole thing. Because you always got to think about too is you're paying rent. So if you're paying rent, you want to make sure you're a couple months ahead. Always plan for like giving a couple months behind because you never know if maybe you might just have slow. Maybe some people think you're going to be too busy off the bat. You never know. And you really want to go into budgeting everything. Like if you're going to buy 4 or 5 TVs, make sure you budget that. How are you going to buy all the monitors? What kind of monitors are you going to buy? PCs too. Like the PCs are my biggest expense. They're about $10,000 that wall right there, just without the monitors. And if you do the math, if you're trying to figure out exactly what kind of power you want and stuff like that at PCs, you can always get bigger and better. But do you want ones that just make it, or do you want ones that are going to be the biggest amount of games that you can have? On a later note, I actually figured out there's actually other ways. If you're a computer major, you might have a little more help with that. You can also make a server and stuff like that too. But if you're going to really budget yourself to what you're going to do and what you want. And I always say go for a little bit more future-proof in the beginning because you never know if you're going to be able to make it to that point where you can wait a little bit. Because if you can build up your money and stuff like that and as you budget, you'll start figuring out more. Another thing too is also find other ways to make income. Because other than just gaming here, we also have streaming and all that stuff. We also have foods and drinks and also things too like parties and stuff. That also helps a lot, to make ends meet or even get that jump ahead.
Right on. Okay. So you said it was you and your dad, but you have some help. Like, what kind of a team do you have?
Right now it is me, my friend Jared that helps me out run the store daily. When I failed to build the place, it was me, my pops, my mom, who pretty much designed the place. She's a good interior designer, I'll tell you that. I just like the aesthetic and colors. My sister helped me out with the gray and the blue. And that whole desk that was actually custom made for our PCs, because you know how us gamers are, we don't like to be bumping each other's elbows. That whole desk was custom made by my uncle Steven, who's a human baser and stuff, and my my grandpa, my dad's side, which is my paka. And they also helped me out. And then like I said, my friend Ian also helped. this stuff. So we have a pretty good team. I have very good friends of team. So it's pretty much it took a village.
Absolutely.
To fill it out in 2 months.
Oh man, that's so fast too.
Yeah.
All right, so like I know you kind of just started not that long ago, and had this giant global pandemic just crash into you. But what kinds of things were you not prepared for? What kinds of things did you not account for in your plan that you kind of had to figure out as you went?
Biggest ones I didn't plan for. Well, one thing I didn't plan for that actually was fixed was my internet guy. And as a gaming place, it's kind of a necessity. When I first came up here, not to shout out, I'm not going to say the company's name because, I don't know about your podcast. But let's just say there's one place, big company up here, didn't want to give me the best. They gave me the best internet, but they gave me a huge, very limited limit, which is like 6 terabytes for a gigabyte internet. And I was like, we're a gaming place. We're gonna run through that. Is there any way I could get like a good business one to have unlimited data cap? They're like, yes, but in the area you in, we have to give you data cap. So I was like, oh, so that was the one big thing that was like in my budget. Like, what do I do? Because then it was like, I think it was like $500 a month, which is pretty expensive for internet. So I didn't want to do it. So I was like, I don't know what I'm gonna do with the internet and stuff like that. So then it was like I said, you want to budget yourself to smaller then. So I was gonna go a lot slower speed, but they gave me a lower limit. So I was like, this is not helping. Luckily for me, my landlord, which is a great guy, actually has another person who's a small business internet provider, and they actually hooked me up with terabyte internet. Oh, not terabyte, gigabyte internet with gigabyte upload and download. So it was really great internet, one ping on most servers, really great.
That is so fantastic.
Small business. So I was like, yo, this is great. So I was like, some things help. And another thing I would say that was the craziest one was the floors. I kind of underestimated. It had this weird carpet, which, by the way, this might be a first on your channel. You could, believe it or not, I don't know if you ever heard this, you could paint carpet.
I did not know you could paint carpet.
You could paint carpet. I didn't know this either. And I thought my mom was crazy when she told me, like, yeah, I've been doing this for years. And I'm like, really? So that took the most amount of time. But yeah, we had to paint the carpet and stuff like that because the carpet was stained and all that stuff, and flooring's like very expensive. So we decided to paint it, and it actually came out really good.
I'm going to file that one away because I'll have to remember that.
Yeah, man. If you ever want to do it, I recommend use a little water in it. It makes it like almost like a dye.
Okay.
Not faster.
Very cool. Okay, so where are you going to go from here? I mean, obviously you just started, but what's your 6-month, 1-year, 5-year plan?
6-month plan. Definitely going to be trying to bulk up my memberships and stuff like that, so we can have a little more income going in. From a year from now, I want to say hopefully I'll be breaking even. Yeah, so hopefully I'll make it break even so I can get more streams and stuff like that going, get my community going, that they're out there in my events. 5-year plan, I want this place to be like the esport arena that everyone looks up for when you look up on the internet. But like, I want to go to esports, I want to do competitions, tournaments. We have a few there too with college and stuff. So hopefully the Smash tournament becomes a bigger scene here, as I've seen before.
Absolutely. Okay, this is so cool. Now, Greg, you have accomplished so much for someone your age, and it's incredible. But I like to say that we learn the most from our failures, not our successes. So can I ask, what is something that you have failed at, not necessarily in this business, but in life, and what did you learn from it?
Biggest thing I would say I would fail at is streaming and stuff like that. Like I would say scheduling was always my biggest problem, like managing time. That was like I said before, I like to do a lot of other things and go into other stuff. But the only problem is when you do that, scheduling, like even in a business sense, if you don't schedule yourself correctly, organize yourself completely, everything seems to fall apart. Even if you think you got the best plan, if you don't have everything timed really well, it's going to chop itself up and become less than what it was. It also looks kind of unprofessional sometimes. So I think that my biggest failure would be like things like that. Or I didn't schedule myself and I'll say I'll do something on this day and then end up being tomorrow, things like that.
Okay. Now, what's something you're working to improve on in yourself?
Time management. Definitely want to do that so I can have more time to do the things I like, and also, of course, run this business to where it should be. And so right now I'm really working on myself to have more time, because right now I work 7 days a week as a solo employee. But yeah, so hopefully I get more time management. That's what I want to work myself on.
What's it like working for yourself?
It's pretty fun, especially when you're like all those days you're like, oh man, that boss and all that stuff is like. Sometimes you get that boss who's like, I don't want to talk to that guy right now, or you have customers and you don't want to like deal with it at like a fast food place and stuff like that. Um, Then you're working by yourself. It's pretty fun because you kind of make the rules and stuff, and you can really make someone's day. Like if you wanted to have a little Smash tournament, and you're like, it was really slow today, and I'm feel a little giving. You could be like, hey, you see a couple kids that may not have money and stuff to borrow today. They're like, hey, if you beat me in Smash, I'll give you a free hour. So little things like that, you could like, make someone's day, and you have a whole group of friends just hanging out.
That's wonderful. All right, so Greg, this is so cool. I'm so happy for you, and I hope this just blows up for you. Once the pandemic and the protests and whatever comes next is over.
Hey, we survived so far the whole pandemic, so I guess it can't go downhill from here, right?
Right. So how do people find you? How do they get in touch with you?
We have a GameQ Lounge on Facebook, since I know this is on Facebook. We also have our Discord that you can also find on our Facebook if you like, and Instagram. Okay, also GameQ Lounge.
Beautiful. All right. Do you have any last thoughts or anything I didn't ask you think we still need to talk about?
Any advice you would give for me for running a business?
You haven't been doing it long enough to really the best advice I could give you is don't get discouraged when it doesn't seem to work. Just like streaming, you said you're one of your biggest problems with streaming, you wasn't able to get it anywhere. The same is going to happen with the business, any business, and unless you really hit marketing hard, you're gonna have days. And never stop marketing, ever, never stop marketing. You can stop selling. That's different though. You can never stop marketing. So some businesses get overwhelmed. Maybe you have every desk filled up. That's fantastic. It doesn't mean you should stop marketing. Because I've seen businesses, they my law practice, years ago, we got overwhelmed with clients. We were marketing and it was just going fantastic. And our business was limited by the number of hours we had in the day. And you're going to be limited by the number of chairs and computers that you have. So we okay, well, just pull the brake. Let's stop marketing. Let's turn it off. And what happened was the clients we worked with diminished, but we didn't have anybody to replace them when it came time. So just never stop marketing, even though you can stop selling if need be.
Gotcha. Okay. I keep that in my mind.
All right.
Yeah.
I hope that helps.
That does help. That's good to think about.
For sure. All right. Well, Greg, this has been an absolutely wonderful interview. Thank you so much for coming on with me.
No problem, man. I really watch your show, and I'll continue watching. Can't wait to share this stuff on it.
Absolutely. Okay, let me see if I can get your name right again. So it's Greg Quiñones with GameQ Lounge. Thank you so much. It was a genuine pleasure.
Thank you, man. Appreciate being on the show.
Absolutely. And for everybody else, I'll remind you all, don't be just a gamer, be a gamerpreneur.
Go live your dreams.